Arthur C. Clarke wrote that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Another way of thinking of it is, it's magic until it's science. I think Galileo ran into three kinds of skeptics. There are those who would refuse to look through Galileo's telescope because they already knew what was true. Then, there are those who would rationalize and say, it worked great during the day, but it obviously doesn't work at night. But then, there are the rare skeptics who wanted to get their own telescope, who wanted to look again and understand optics and know why it worked. These are the people willing to get their hands dirty and to evaluate things based on their own experience and not just their judgments. Wayne Dyer wrote that the highest form of ignorance is rejecting something that you don't know anything about. So, I hereby present the highest form of ignorance award to Wikipedia. And when they write about energy healing, they write, the most controversial claim in this general area of pseudoscience is the belief healers can channel energy into a patient and effect positive results. As Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. In an effort to present extraordinary evidence, I decided to demonstrate teachable human abilities that are widely considered to be physiologically impossible. The first is untwisting pelvic torsion without touch. The second is untwisting occipital torsion without touch. Chiropractors, osteopaths, and other professionals realize in order to untwist pelvic torsion, you usually have to put a person on their side and apply a great deal of pressure. And as far as occipital torsion goes, most physiologists believe the occipital bones are incapable of moving, and the ones that believe they can move believe they can only move a microscopic amount. I gave a keynote address at the University of Hong Kong and demonstrated that you can untwist a stage full of people, both occipital and pelvic torsion simultaneously, and it was done without touching the people. After observing my demonstration on stage, Cecilia L.W. Chan, Ph.D., founding director of the Center of Behavioral Health at the University of Hong Kong, wrote that Quantum Touch 2.0, my latest book, is probably the most important new publication in the world, a life-transforming book that changes everything. I've seen these phenomena for years and years. It's so easy for me to demonstrate this or to teach other people to demonstrate it. And when the bones in the back of the head are out far enough, people can even feel it for themselves. Can you feel that your right thumb is higher?
Yes.
Lift your thumbs off for a second. I'm going to meditate. Okay, put your thumbs back on. See what you feel.
Whoa. Yeah.
What do you feel?
It's better. The right side's definitely not higher.
Yeah, it levels out, just like that. Okay, I'm going to meditate now for a moment.
That really damaged me. One of them, I was skating, I hit by a car, and
Okay, touch with your thumbs now.
my foot got caught under the bumper.
That's so weird.
And I just flipped
Yeah,
my
it's
foot
even
on
now.
from my ACL complete
Oh, that's so
separation,
weird. How did you
shattered
do
my
that?
kneecap.
Well,
It's real.
yeah.
Wow.
It is.
I'm completely mind blown right now.
That's something else.
Because I know when my spine's aligned. I've been to a chiropractor so many times,
Yeah.
and it literally feel like I just got an adjustment.
Okay, feel it again. What do you notice?
How is that possible? That's weird.
What happened?
It's hard to believe, but it feels like they're equal.
Yeah.
Oh, I can feel it shifting.
Okay, measure again.
It's much more even.
Yeah.
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 That's how it works.
That's how it works. That was amazing. Woo!
But it's not enough for me to just show people over and over and over again. I wanted to find empirical ways to demonstrate that this stuff is actually real. My first thought was that we could use X-rays, but X-rays actually see through the bones and don't see the shape of the bones. Then I tried using external equipment, and some of it we built ourselves. Third, I went to MRIs, but MRIs didn't separate fat, bone, connective tissue, muscles, and tendons. That didn't work. And CT scans used far too much radiation to be ethically used. I kept asking the question, how can I show this empirically? And one night I dreamt that I was flying over the Arctic in a jet that was measuring how thick the ice was. And when I woke up, I realized I needed a scanner. The idea is to take before and after scans of the back of a person's head. I never tell people how many scans I'm going to take. I ask them to stay perfectly still so that they don't move between before and after scans. Then we're going to compare the before scans with each other to make sure that they line up topographically, and then compare before and after scans to see if they compare. This is all preliminary evidence, but I find it very compelling because the images continue to repeat the same patterns. If you look at the left-hand side image, this is a comparison between two before scans. If you look at the right-hand image, it's a comparison of a before and after scan. If you look under what would be the occipital ridge, you'll see orange areas. Here's the second data set, where the person's neck is very still in the two before scans, but when you look at the after scan, you see under the occipital ridge, around the trapezius, and in this case, around the seventh cervical, it lighting up, showing that there are changes. And here, once again, you can see a very similar pattern. The before image shows no fundamental change, and the after image shows those 5 orange spots. Okay, that's all very interesting, but what's the point? Well, first off, it shows that not everything in the world can be explained through math and physics. This is a fundamental assumption of science. Next, it shows that the mind is not confined to the brain. Therefore, telepathy must exist. Third, energy healing is real. This is a basic human skill that everybody can learn. Next, modern medicine is not the only viable way of treating people. It also shows us that quantum theory, as we understand it, is incomplete because it is not including consciousness into the equations. Beyond that, these simple demonstrations show us that the universe understands intent, corrects for ignorance. Now, I don't know where the bones are supposed to go and how to align things, and it works in the direction of healing every single time. It clearly shows us that we don't know the limits of what's possible. It also shows us that we are not machines and strongly implies that we are spiritual beings. And it's been my observation that the deeper and stronger the love, the faster and more impactful is the healing. So could all of this simply be explained by some sort of elaborate psychological mechanism? I don't think so, because we see it working on infants, animals, people under general anesthesia, plants, fluids, and even on some minerals. Further, I teach no techniques involving suggestion or trying to get people to believe things. In fact, I'm very happy for people to be skeptical or even hostile about what I'm doing. It doesn't seem to matter. I've called this work Quantum Touch because I believe that we're probably working on a quantum or subatomic level to make these kinds of changes. The quantum world is endlessly mysterious, and as Niels Bohr wrote, everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. If quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Look us up at quantumtouch.com.